fatalities than what people know. There's elderly people that in houses. I know of one chap in Helidon, his mother perished.
Our thoughts are with those workers, and they're particularly with those families who are continuing to hope and anxiously wait for news of their loved ones.
Queensland has already faced some dark days, and there are dark days still ahead.
January 2011, a time Australians will never forget. A time when Mother Nature wreaked havoc on Queensland and the floods tore through the state, causing tragedy and chaos. We read the articles in the newspapers. We watched it unfold on our televisions. Some people hoping and praying for family and friends affected, whilst others of us just prayed for people in places we'd never known, hoping that no matter what, they would make it out safe. During the floods, it was reported that more than half of Queensland was affected by flooding. It wasn't long until the Australian spirit shone through and people started rallying together to help one another. Neighbours helping neighbours, strangers helping strangers, all with the same goal, to help a mate in need. 700 kilometres away in the small community of Muswellbrook were a bunch of guys who played rugby league together and were watching the same footage and reading the same articles, who decided to help make a difference. After a few phone calls and registering with the volunteer hotline and donations from local businesses, we headed to Queensland and ended up in Murphy's Creek in the Lockyer Valley, a township greatly affected by the flood.
For Murphy's Creek, there is nothing that comes close to this. I mean, to lose one life in a small community like this, it tears you apart, but it's even tougher when you lose whole families and streets.
But there will come a time when they'll need more than just each other.
At the moment, there's that bit of dysfunction and they are feeling abandoned.
Residents just hope when the talk of Queensland's flood fades, they'll still be remembered.
The impact the trip had on us as individuals cannot be explained. To say we made friends wouldn't be the term I'd use. We extended our families. There is so much I could and want to tell you about the experience and the people, but I'll keep it as simple as possible. The stories, the people, everything up there changed us. It changed our outlook on life, it softened us, and it strengthened us. When we left Murphy's Creek after a week of volunteering, there was so much more to be done, and if we could have stayed, each of us would have. We promised one thing: we would be back. This is where the plan for the Murphys and Mates charity rugby league match came about. A celebration of the teamwork and hard work that went into helping each other, whilst also paying tribute to those whose lives were lost. One thing that must be noted is Murphys Creek has never had a rugby league team. Given the name the Murphys Maulers from the original Australia Day Fun Day match during the floods, 3 of the 5 Rams that volunteered in the clean-up effort, along with Murphys Creek's residents, made up the side for the charity match. For the charity match to go ahead, the Muswellbrook Shire Council and the Muswellbrook Rams donated a spare set of goalposts to the community. The goal is to raise much needed money to rebuild some of the town's sporting infrastructure for the kids and a number of other facilities in the town that were wiped out during the flooding. All jerseys worn during the charity match will be auctioned off at the Murphys Creek Tavern after the match to help fund the projects. Here's the outlook from some of the locals involved during the floods and those that were also involved during the charity match.
Stunned. Unable to comprehend what had actually happened around them. Shock when it started to dawn on them what had actually happened. It took a couple of days for it to sink in, and another day or two for people to start to straighten their back and get up and realise that we had a lot of work to do.
No one ever thought that that amount of water could come down a little creek like ours and just do the devastation that it did. Everyone was just, I guess, in shock for months after the flood. They just didn't know where to go, who to turn to. I guess we just all held together with ourselves in the community and just worked together and found out a way.
I was actually watching a movie. We had no one in the campground because the flood had come up and down and had given us a break to get people out before the main flood hit. And so we're just kicking back, looked out the door, out the window, and saw a wave break on the eye line, which meant the creek line had come up 10 metres in 10 minutes. So I stood up and had a look as every tree, 400 trees in the creek line, fell over. So we weren't keen to hang around. So we shot a couple of quick videos, which you'll see on YouTube, and got our 3-year-old together and left for an hour.
Pretty emotional time. People finding it very hard going, losing personal items, personal effects, losing family members, and even just the devastation that was left behind. So it was sort of assisting people with their well-being around all those issues.
Physically, I thought I'm ready to go up and help out, but there was no way was I prepared mentally to comprehend what I saw and just the people that I met and the conversations and hearing the stories. That was probably the hardest thing I dealt with up there, and probably after when I came back, when it really all hit home.
Up there at the end of the season last year and waking up in the morning on Saturday morning and just going down to the creek and sitting down there by myself because people were still asleep, and just looking up through the creek there to see how wide the creek's opened up and just trying to imagine the force that come through that creek.
Yeah, the flood footage was fairly dramatic, just watching it on film and on TV and in the news and not knowing what to do and where it came from, and just happened so suddenly. It was just shell-shocking.
Yeah, when I saw the footage I was in a lot of shock really that something so close to home could be going on. So, so many lives lost, so many people going through tragedy and all that sort of stuff, a large area affected by such a big thing, Yeah, so big eye-opener.
The volunteers were a huge task in themselves. You would never have imagined that you would have a car park with hundreds of people standing in it at 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning wanting to help. What to do with them, where to send them to. There was so much to do and it was a huge task, but it was amazing to see that much support.
I thought it was absolutely beautiful, everyone just showing up, they had no idea what they were going to do when they come here. They just showed up, shovels, brooms, anything we could possibly need, and just showed up and said, what do you need done? It was just amazing.
No, look, it was pretty amazing. When on any given weekend we'd have 300 volunteers and 48 pieces of machinery, and none of it belonged to the local area. Organisations like Bunnings sent 50 staff and they door knocked every house in Murphy's Creek and databased everything, people that needed stuff repaired. And so then the volunteers were motivated then, had a target, and tradesmen had targets, and they went and repaired the community. And I think that's why Murphy's Creek's in good shape now, because the volunteers and machinery and the people helped themselves.
Definitely was. The boys stuck their hand up straight away and asked for as many volunteers as they could, and they did the club proud going up there, and good strong friendships come from it.
Yeah, definitely. Shows that Marshbrook's not just about their football. That that the club generally wants to help people in trouble out, willing to give a hand to anyone that needs it.
Yeah, look, as soon as I received a phone call, it was like I was talking to someone that had been sitting right next to me, and had the same thoughts and had seen the same thing I had, and I thought it was a great idea straight away, and I just thought we need to try and get some people together, and hopefully this would get some momentum, and I didn't know how it was going to happen. I just thought it was a great idea and I wanted to be a part of it.
Australia Day was a day in itself. The people that got together and organised matches for cricket, football, beach volleyball, the mateship of it, the inclusion that came with it of people that you would not normally see mixing together. It brought a smile to everybody's face. It lightened the whole load just for one day.
Yeah, I thought it was a great day. Everyone had fun. It was well worth it, bringing everyone back together just for the day to have fun and try and not think about the flood.
Yeah, that day was, I'll remember it forever, I was a bit shocked to start with when I heard that, we're going to have this Australia Day, a few games, volleyball, they were bringing sand and things like that, because I was just like, wow, you've just lost so much, But I suppose at the end of the day, when I look back, hindsight, you can see that, it just bonded everyone and brought them together and reinvigorated everybody to then go on again. And
yeah, the Australia Day game, that was pretty sensational. The crazy thing about it were people like the federal member was here, Scotty Buckholz, took his tie off and his shoes off and jumped on the field in his pants and shirt. Crazy. But something impromptu like that has sparked something as big as this. It's pretty sensational.
It was about just getting away as a bunch of mates helping out. they all put their head up. They, take their head off to them. They did the club really proud, and not only did they do the club proud, they did our community in Muswellbrook proud. But I'm sure they did Murphys Creek proud too. I hope that the boys that went up there took a bit of that information and that weekend away back to them to better their lives, because I know that what I've saw, what I've heard, is definitely going to benefit me for the rest of my life.
Yeah, it definitely gave me a sense of achievement, made me feel better upon myself, to think that these people have gone through so much and being able to, put a smile on their face, sort of thing, help out. Got the people of the community, see some people from other areas, and mingle with a few different people and have a good time. So yeah.
I don't think people realise just what the charity match meant last year. I think that as we got into it, they started to realise just how much it meant to the people that were involved on Australia Day, how much it meant to have people come back and show the support that these people in Murphys Creek need.
It's definitely good knowing that we're putting some money back into the community that definitely needed it.
I think the footy match was a bit biased myself, but it was a good hard match, and it was good to see what they could throw at us, and they luckily got it away from us, and the money was just amazing what we raised, and what the town raised by itself, and it was good. At the end of the day, it's all about having fun, which is good.
Oh, it was a huge success. It was really mind-blowing as to how successful it was. I don't think anyone expected it to be successful on the participation from everyone from the community and from those guys that come up from Muswellbrook, which was just fantastic, as well as the money that was physically raised and the difference that's going to make to the sporting facilities moving forward.
I thought the first year would be, just building the foundation for future years. And as far as raising the funds for it, I actually didn't think we would clear that much money to actually give to the community. I thought that if we could cover the costs of what it took to get up there and get it happen, and it was more about, I suppose, trying to create something for the local community rather than the funds we were going to raise. And I thought long term it would be able to raise some funds, but not the first year. And then when we had the auction and we got the figure after the auction, it just blew me away. I just did not expect to raise that sort of money. And then the Muswellbrook Council coming on board as well and matching the funds, my jaw just hit the ground.
Look, I think the reach is far more than that, and I think we'll see that evidence this year. There will be preferably more sponsors up this way get involved. We can get media involved up this way, but it's definitely seeing the young bloke that was at the meeting last night. He's pretty keen. There's a lot of young blokes in the community talking about it. So I think it's an exceptional thing that can only grow legs. To be honest, I don't think it'll die a slow death. I think it's something that's got momentum.
It's why I've played the game for 20 odd years. It's because it just has that ability to bring people together, and on the day it was in fun, but there was some serious things there and not so serious times, but that's rugby league. That's why I love it, and I think a lot of people in this country do, and that's what it's built on. It's built on teamwork and helping each other out. And
so it's been quite an interesting process to sort of see the community come together, and further cemented by the Murphys Mates charity football match. Just how important football is in the recovery and uniting the community, and not just the community within Murphys Creek, but also the wider community, and of bringing footballers from Muswellbrook up, which it's been a huge success.
To come up, to view it, it's just a great day of lots of fun, lots of laughs.
We still need your support. There's still people out there that just need to know. People haven't forgotten them. To come back and take part in it is just a reminder that those people that cared in the beginning still care, and for others to come and see it, it is just an experience to be had. It's a real Australian day.
It will be a great opportunity for people that did support during the flood times to come back and further support the community and see how the community has really moved forward and through their road of recovery.
Yeah, well, basically from the Muswell Club, I extend my invitation to the volunteers from last year, and you know, all get up there and come up and have a nice day.
Well, definitely take the opportunity to get up there. It's such a great big eye opener. Like, you don't realise the devastation, you know, from it's so long ago, over a year ago, and there's still people that are affected by it. There's still, you know, you can still see the havoc that these floods wrecked. So definitely get up there and definitely give you some better perspective on life.
Family Day was a great day. Just bring anyone down. We had the tug of war going, and there was all other stuff happening. It was a really great day. Just come down and have a go and see what happens.
People just to come and have a look, you know, even if you weren't there initially when the floods hit and help out then, by coming now, you're helping out. And if not as much as the people before that, it might be even more, because these communities need us, and we need as many people to turn up to them and show their support and actually have a look at what's been left behind, you know, because there's plenty of people. Well, I know we've got to remember the people that were lost, but we've got to celebrate the people that, you know, were left there and have cleaned up and have moved on and tried to make the community a better place.
Yeah, look, I think this is becoming a focal point as opposed to memorial services. I think this is a really smart way to do things, and so, you know, anyone who felt compelled to support the community, and more often than not, people give that time initially and then fade into the background, and you don't unfortunately see them again. So you know, it's a great way for it to be a reunion and a memorial all in one, without it being too sobering, you know.
I'm Steve Reynolds, organiser of the Murphys and Mates charity match, encouraging all the flood volunteers to come back and celebrate the hard work and teamwork that went into the flood relief effort. There'll be loads of entertainment for the whole family. Proceeds from this year's event will not only be assisting the local area with rebuilding, but part of the money raised will also be donated to the Men of League Foundation and the Black Dog Institute, two great causes that are also there for people in need. This is an ideal opportunity for anyone who volunteered during the floods to come back and show the people affected they are not forgotten, and anyone else to come along and enjoy a great day. So come along October 27 to Murphys Creek for a great family fun day out. If not for yourself, do it for your mates.